Welcome to the Yessy's Designs Knitting Podcast, episode 30. My name is Yessy. I am the maker and the designer behind Yessy's Designs. If this is the first time that you come to my podcast, I share with you all the knitting that has happened since I saw you last. If you have been here before, welcome. I hope that all of you enjoy this episode that I have put together for you. I forgot to mention that I record this podcast in my studio here in Connecticut, and today's episode is gonna be a little different. This episode is just going to be about the pattern release of the Milagros sweater. This is the sweater that I am wearing today. So I'm gonna be talking about the yarn, the inspiration behind this piece. I wrote all of my notes here on my notebook. This is the notebook that I use to write or to prepare the podcasts that I share with you. And in this episode, I was very, very detailed because it's a very emotional piece for me. It's a kind of an emotional subject to talk about. So I didn't want to miss any details about the pattern or the things that I would like to share with you because, you know, when we are emotional, we tend either to forget or speed up a little bit. So I thank you in advance for your patience because this is this is like the second time that I try to talk about this pattern release. So as I mentioned before, this Milagros sweater is a very special pattern release for me. And I am going to be sharing some of the story, especially if you are not familiar with this design. Now, this design is available and ready for you in sizes, adult sizes, from extra small to 3 extra large. Now, this design carries a lot of heart, a lot of memories, a lot of joy, a lot of creativity. So get a cup of something cozy, maybe bring your knitting or the craft of your choice, and let's chat. So if you have not followed this design before, if you have not followed my work before, you might not be familiar with the fact that this pattern, it's been available for children's sizes for quite some time. It was originally released in children's sizes, but I want to take you back a little bit about where the idea began. So in the early days of my knitting, I never imagined that I would knit a sweater or design a sweater for that matter. I took classes many years ago when I was in my late 20s. I learned how to knit in Colombia. Took some classes in there. And then I didn't knit anymore. When I came back, I went to take care of my grandmother. And then when I came back, I just didn't knit. At some point, some months later, I am pregnant with my first son. And when I am on the last months of my pregnancy, on like my 7th month, I started to take knitting classes here. So I learned how to knit baby beanies because I wanted to make all the beanies for my baby boy. But my knitting teacher suggested to make him a sweater. Now, the only thing I can remember is that I did all the parts where I just knit. It was a garter stitch sweater. So whenever decreases or increases happened, it was a cardigan. In that cardigan, she would help me with that part. I don't remember learning at that point how to do increases or decreases. So she helped me there, and then she did whatever you had to do to make this piece look like a cardigan. So she did all of that, including the buttonholes that the cardigan needed. So I cannot say that I learned how to knit a cardigan or that I had an idea of how to knit a sweater, let's say. So when 2020 happened, we all know what happened at that time. We were in lockdown. Cecilia from Mama Do It Yourself had a course about how to design a raglan sweater. So I took the class, not just because I wanted to learn. At that point, I already knew how to make sweaters. I just wanted to learn about the designing part. I wanted to learn about it. I also needed something to look forward to in my maker journey, because we know how hard all of those months in lockdown were for us. So I took that class, design a sweater in that class. So that gave me the confidence to think, I can do this. I can design a sweater. So I went and I designed a second piece. I was thinking of my daughter at the time. So I designed the Milagros sweater for her. And then at some point, I wrote all the instructions, the pattern got graded, and it was released. I knew at that time that I wanted also to have the adult version of that pattern because I wanted to match with her. I was thinking of all the moms that either would like to match their daughters, or that if they didn't have daughters or didn't want to match, that they could wear anyway a piece that would be timeless, that would be classic, a piece where they could add their own touch of creativity, maybe making it their own by adding stripes or color work on embroidery. So this sweater is like a blank canvas to make it your own. I love it the way it is right now. And I'll talk in a little bit about more details about the sweater. So that's how this Milagros sweater knitting journey started. Started with my daughter at a time where all of the knitting and the creativity and the making and the designing took a different meaning for me. So I have shared this before also, but I'm gonna say it again because maybe you're not familiar with this part. And this is one of the things that makes the design also a very meaningful pattern. So the Milagros sweater is named after my father-in-law. My father-in-law's name was Antonio. He passed away in 2022. He was a farmer in Ecuador, and he owned a piece of land which he used for, as a farm. And every time he talked about his farm in Milagros, he would lit up. Our family had enjoyed many, many times where he would say stories about being in that farm. So this farm in Milagros was very special for him. When he was little, he was working on it so his brothers and sisters could go to school. And later in life, that's the farm that supported my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and my husband. So my husband, he also has many wonderful memories about this farm in Milagros because during summer vacation, my father-in-law would take him there, and my husband, he helped to plant and he would help to harvest. So they had in the farm cocoa beans, mangoes, plantains, tomatoes, and all kinds of vegetables. So this is a part in history that is very special for my family. He was so proud of this farm, my father-in-law. He had so many stories of the farm, and the farm is still there. So very respectfully and in a small, meaningful way, I just wanted to honor this part in our life, which is naming this pattern the Milagros sweater. Now, something else that I did to make this pattern more meaningful to me and my family is the fact that I took final pictures of the children's sizes and the adult sizes for the pictures that would go in the pattern that you see on my shops. I took those pictures in my backyard. Now, my father-in-law, he spent a lot of time with us, especially in the warmer months. And he helped us so much in our property. Since the first moment we moved in here, him and my husband, they would work for hours and hours and hours every time he was here doing things in the property. And I cannot say that I did a lot, but he taught me a lot of things. So the little that I do today in our property, he has taught me many, many of the things about planting, how to take care of different plants. And we would spend a lot of time in all of the places that you see in these pictures, just talking, looking at it. Every time he worked in our property, after he was done and he showered and I had food ready for him, a warm drink or whatever the case was, we would sit outside and he would take me through everything he did and he would teach me what to do next time, like during the cold months when he wasn't here, or if he had to leave or something, he would tell me what to do in case he wasn't here. So there is a lot of heart into this pattern. But now let's talk about the pattern itself. So this design is a top-down raglan. It's working the round. It's designed with advanced beginner knitters in mind. Now, this is something, as I mentioned before, that you can customize by adding stripes, some color work, embroidery. His favorite flower was daisies. So I have to make a sample where I add daisies to the sweater. I don't know if I mentioned before, color blocking. So again, anything that you would like to do on a sweater like this to make it your own, this is something that you can do. The yarn that I use is Blue Sky Fibers. So it's this colorway. This colorway is Comet, and this is Skyland. So Skyland from Blue Sky Fibers. It comes in 100 grams, 210 yards, 192 meters, and it's 40% fine Highland wool, 30% baby alpaca, and 30% silk. The drape that this yarn has is so beautiful. The color is just so lovely. It is really, really pretty. It's so soft to have on the needle, so soft to wear. So I was very excited to work with this yarn from Blue Sky Fibers. Now, something extra special that Blue Sky Fibers did for this pattern is that they sent 10 skeins of Skyland in the colorway Meridian. 10 skeins for one of you to make your own Milagros sweater. So 10 skeins is enough yarn to make the Milagros sweater in any size, from extra small to extra large. So this is part of a giveaway that I am holding right now on my Instagram page. My Instagram handle is in the description below. So feel free to go over there, check the giveaway and enter. Enter. You might be getting 10 skeins of this beautiful, beautiful yarn to make your own Milagros sweater. This color is gonna be just so very pretty. So thank you, Blue Sky Fibers. I'm part of their Blue Sky Fibers Makers Plus program. So this allows me to knit with so much of their yarn. Beautiful, beautiful yarns that they have over there. Very luxurious and so soft, top of the line. So I'm very happy every time I get to work on a design with them. So you can find the pattern on my website, on my Ravelry and on my Etsy. I also wrote a blog post that I added on my website that talks about the inspiration. So kind of what I talked about over here, but it's in maybe more detail over there. It has pictures and everything. Well, I'm adding pictures over here as well, but feel free to take a look over there and you're gonna find the handles to all of the shops and everything, the links. So designing this sweater, needless to say, was very emotional. It was joyful and it was very meaningful. So I hope that if you decide to make your own Milagros sweater, that you make it special as well. It's not gonna have the same meaning that it has for me, but I hope that you find a sense of calm, that you find some comfort, that you find some creativity to add your own touch to this design. I really, really hope that you enjoy this sweater as I have enjoyed knitting it and designing it myself. So this is it. This is all that I have to share with you today. If you would like to subscribe, this way you're not gonna miss future episodes. If you like this episode, please leave me a comment, and don't forget to head out to my Instagram also to enter the giveaway so you can win probably 10 skeins of Skyland in the colorway Meridian to make your own Milagros sweater. So I'm gonna see you next time. In the meantime, happy making and happy knitting.